You cannot conquer a methodical Satan with an haphazard Christianity. You pray today, you don't pray tomorrow. I was talking to a dearly beloved person one time, and I was talking about morning devotion. And the fellow told me that, we don't do morning devotion. We are not trained to do morning devotion. We are not trained to do daily devotion. We just pray as we feel like. Man, I really thought that was a very demonic crap. I was alarmed. That was false teaching. The teacher could have been right, could have been sincere, but it was sincerely false. And it was sincerely wrong. Bible talks about praying. Talking about Jesus as you know what? Without ceasing. And talks about Jesus that he prayed as was his custom. Daniel, millennia before, Daniel saw the second coming of the Lord, even when the first coming had not happened. Daniel, he saw the second coming. There were things that Daniel saw that were re-emphasized in the book of Revelation. How did Daniel become that? Daniel was a man that was methodical in his relationship with God. When they were asked, he was asked not to pray. He said he went, as was his custom, and opened his windows and knelt down. He was doing it daily. That was a methodical man. That was why I could see several years ahead of him. And that was why he walked in all the supernatural that he walked. When he prayed and his answer was delayed, he continued praying. That was methodical. I was listening to Pastor Adebo a clip earlier this week, and he talked about how that he fasts for 40 days every year. I don't know how many years he's been doing it. He said recently, after he had become over 80, his medical personnel said that, at that day, you don't have to fast again. Now, even Jesus will understand that you are now old, because it's not healthy for you to go on this kind of fast. Then he told the medicine man that, oh yeah, I know, Jesus will understand, but I will not understand. I am the one that will not understand. He said, you know what? I know you care for me. Let us start the fast. If I get to a point and my body cannot take it any longer, I will stop. An 80-something-year-old man going on a 40-day fast, and he's been doing it every year as a matter of method. He's a methodical man. That is how he why and how he's gotten the results that, not because he's the most anointed man, but he's the most disciplined and methodical man. So, what the Bible says that, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against all the wiles, all the methodia of the enemy, all the methods of the enemy, all the modus operandi of the enemy, the formulas of the enemy, the strategies of the enemy. The word wise there could also be interpreted as strategy. And strategy was primarily a military term before it was imported into business. Now nowadays, business people talk more about strategy than military people. Oh, business strategy, brand strategy, competitive strategy, and all that. It was actually a military term. Strategy it belongs more to the military than it is to the business world. Talking about strategies and stratagems. Strategies talks about the heart, your heart of war. How you have the heart that you have designed to conquer. So when it says here that put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, it's saying that you may be able to stand against the heart of war of the devil. Put on the whole armor of God and be able to stand against the devil's heart of war. The battle the devil launches against believer is an heart. A very fine heart. Fine heart. When you see a piece of artwork, you are confused. How did he do this thing? You look at the canvas. Some weeks ago, I was still studying some artwork and paintings done by Basquiat. And I was thinking, how did he come about this? I couldn't imagine how to do that. I'm not a trained painter. So how did they make it come alive? How did it come real? That was an heart. So that's how the devil fight. That's how the devil, he does some things in the lives of people. And people are like, how did this happen? Because it was an heart. It was a fine heart. The devil is a fine artist when it comes to spiritual warfare and battle. So you must understand his heart. And you must have superior hearts. So Christianity is also a fine heart. When we talk of, that's why the Bible says that the message of the cross is foolishness to they that are perishing, but to which that are being saved is the power of God. The death of Jesus, redemption, was a fine heart. It was a checkmate. God designed it. It was a grand, fine heart. Talking in tongues is a fine heart. Redemption was a fine heart. Talking in tongues is a fine heart. Confession is a fine heart. The fellowship with the saints is a fine heart. Those are things that confuse the enemy. One of the finest hearts in redemption is talking in tongues. Is confused. The same way you look at the work of Basquiat, you look at the work of Michelangelo, and you are confused at how could they have made this possible. That's the same way the devil wonders when you are talking in tongues, and is checkmated, and it's like, how on earth? I couldn't have imagined this. So the devil is a methodical devil. Believers must be methodical believers in order to win. Methods of the Spirit. Divine methods.